Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Hidden Dragon. Now, take a little look at some of the highlights of the games that we've played, and we'll join you in a sec for the final game of our group, which will decide whether we qualify against Ireland, because we've got some more stuff to talk about, and I'll join you guys in a sec for that. Takes the corner. Oh, it's in the back of the net, and it's George Williams giving Wales the lead here in Ireland, and that is a huge goal for us. The tactic still seems to be working, which is great. The top Dunphy's onto this. He's got a bit of pace here. Dunphy through again. Dunphy this time does finally score. Ireland 0, Wales 2. Can we hang on to a 2-goal lead for the first time ever, probably? There we go, guys. Ireland 0, Wales 2. A huge away win for us, and that is massive. Taylor's ball in. Back post, George Williams 1-0 to Wales after just a minute in this game, and that's the lead that we need desperately right now. Ball through for Pogletka. Can he pull it back across the box? Williams is in there again, and it's 2-0 to Wales. George Williams with both the goals. Pogletka with the assist on that one. Great stuff from the substitute. Face out wide again. But Williams going to bust his gut to get into the box. Ball across. Pogletka, strike, goal. 3-0 to Wales. Randall Pogletka, and that is 3-0. Good stuff. Wilson's corner goes short for Ramsey. Whipped across, and Hendry puts it in at the near post there. 4-0 to Wales. Sam Ramsey with the goal. So Pogletka, he's brought this down. Can he get a ball across the box though? Back for Ramsey. Ramsey scores another one. It is Faroe Islands 0, Wales 5. Sam Ramsey with a brace net. And there we go. Faroe Islands 0, Wales 5. Thoroughly convincing away win. George Williams down the left-hand side now. Cutting through. Can he get it across the box? Dunphy, goal. 1-0 to Wales. And interestingly, Loizu in goal there for Cyprus. Mick, is that you? Right over the top of Davies. Edwards is out there. Can he bet the ball back across? He does, and it's in the back post from Demetriou. That is a devastating goal. James Demetriou makes it Wales 1, Cyprus 1. We cannot afford this result. Loads of space out wide for Davies. Waits up a sec. Ball across. Pogletka, Wilson at the far post, and that is 2-1 to Wales. Harry Wilson might well have just sent Wales to the Euros. That is a massive goal. Lovely link up, back for Isgrove. Can we continue the play? Arthur, space, good strike. Williams on the rebound, hits the post, on the rebound again. Finally puts it in. Wales 3, Cyprus 1. And with that, I have to say, I think we are heading to the Euros, I would say, guys, at this rate. There we go. Wales 3, Cyprus 1. 5 wins out of 6. Brilliant. Lynn, Darlow. Oh, dearie me. That's FM15 goalkeeping right there. Portugal 1, Wales 0. Jesus Christ, Carl. It's still 1-0. If we could get to half-time at 1-0, things could get a little interesting. Cancella's ball across, and this time it is put in by Guedes. Portugal 2, Wales 0. We've just not been able to turn up today, unfortunately. Goes through here, through on goal, and saved again, and not quite a third time this time. Guedes puts it in. Darlow's been the only thing keeping Portugal from getting 7s and 8s today, unfortunately, and we just don't have enough in them. Acres of space, strikes it. Guedes on the rebound. Darlow is just, he's like a gatekeeper with alligators running all over him, unfortunately. 4-0 to Portugal. There we go, guys. Portugal 4, Wales 0. But the key thing is, Cyprus drew 1-1 with Ireland, which means that unless Ireland beat Portugal, then we are going to qualify. Right, guys, we are back. So if we could get 250 likes on this episode, that would be amazing. I'm sure by now you kind of figured out what's going on. And basically, Ireland dropped some points in very key games. They drew away in Cyprus. That's the most important one. And that means that they are already, as far as I can tell, they've not qualified, basically. I will just do a question of the day as well while we're here. Today's question is this. What is the highest transfer fee you've ever seen on FM? Now, I actually can't remember the highest transfer fee. Whether you mean just in the world in general or one I've sold. So I generally don't have an answer to that question, but I'd be very curious to hear what you guys think. Like the highest transfer you've seen from an AI club, or the highest that you've ever sold or bought a player for. Do let me know in the comments. And if you do have any ideas for a question of the day, drop those in the comments too with the hashtag QOTD. Right, so as you can see, these are the other groups. Turkey and Serbia are through, although I assume that's the case. But yeah, okay, so I assume that is what's going to happen, unless it's like, I swear it's the top 2 that go through. Unless it's just because of the way that they've done this. I'm pretty certain that's the case, though. So Turkey and Serbia look good for that. In fact, they've got it. That game hasn't technically finished. England do look solid, though. But it's interesting. That's quite a tough group. Albania have done some decent things in the Euros as of late. And the fact they're actually going to be playing at the Euros next summer. Romania and Bulgaria. France and Sweden. Of course, France number 1 now. And there we are. So we've got 1 game to go, and we are 5 points clear thanks to that beautiful win. I presume it was in Dublin. Absolutely ridiculous result. Now, I was a bit worried that the update to the game was going to break tactics and stuff like that, and thankfully it hasn't, as far as I can tell. We did look a lot worse against Portugal than we did the first time we played them, but for the most part, we've actually looked better, and this is the first time I've recorded anything since the update to the game, to the sort of first release candidate, so to speak. So like beta 16.1 rather than 16.0 blah, blah, blah. So, I was impressed, because the first game we played was away in Ireland. We're not starting Pogletka up front. Dunphy, as much much as he isn't fit, I'd prefer to have Philip Fowler up top. I really would. He's a much better player. Also, Jonathan Savage, I have called him into the squad today. That's because if we're in a comfortable position, I might just get him on for his debut, just to make sure, because it's a competitive game, you know, because he could potentially get English citizenship and maybe, I don't know. The point is, I just want to make sure that we get him, basically, because he looks fantastic. Look, I mean, he's already a 2-star player. At 16 years old, so we'll make sure we get him in as well. So we're going to go with Fowler, George Williams, Taylor, Wilson, Dyson. Am I really going to go for Dyson? We've got James Martin potentially. No, he's worse. Reece Burns is injured and he's not that great in that position. Ben Harries, you can still see how we're sort of moving over. Sam Ramsey, unfortunately, is injured as well. No relation, I don't think. Davies, Rodon, Poole, Williams, and Darlow. Interestingly, Callum Saunders actually was seemingly good enough to get to a squad this time. He looked a little bit better, but he's not going to be playing for us. I just thought I'd try him, just bring him into the squad and just see what he's like to actually see his stats properly. But yeah, not that impressed. Accomplished tactic, though, is good. And now that we've qualified in theory, it means that we are going to be playing in the Euros. And the Euros will be the final sort of frontier, so to speak, of this save. Or certainly that I'm going to... Wow, that is a defensive tactic. Christ, you could park all kinds of buses in there. So, yeah. But this is going to be sort of the last tournament that I'll do, because after that, obviously, we'll be moving over to do Wimbledon. I don't exactly know when it's going to start. I might end up having to put the intro episode up one day and then the next one the next day, because it's just going to be such a hectic time, particularly with FM8 this weekend. Now, I don't know when this episode's actually going to be going out, so I can't work out whether it would have already happened or not. But if it hasn't, then do check out FM8. It's basically a charity stream, 24 hours long, with all FM YouTubers and streamers getting involved. It's going to be really good fun. We're just raising money for War Child, which is FM's charity of choice. And Davies with the free kick puts it in for Wales. And if we could get 18 points, that would be lovely, frankly. I'd be very, very pleased with that. But yeah, and if it has already happened, then you'll have already seen a video go out from me about that as well anyway, so I wouldn't worry about it. You'll definitely get to hear about it, and hope you enjoyed. I'm on from 9 AM on Sunday morning till midday with Golden FM and Completely Chaz, so that should be fun. I don't actually know what we're going to be doing just yet. We haven't really decided at this point, but I'm sure it'll be all kinds of stuff, whether it be playing saves, quizzes, Q&As and whatnot, and all that kind of stuff. So a lovely free kick from Davies, and it is Wales 1, Ireland 0. We've actually done quite well as a defensive unit against everybody except Portugal. We've obviously conceded, 11 goals against Portugal. That's not a big problem. But in the other matches, we've actually only conceded 1 goal, and that was against Cyprus in that kind of dicey home match. So it's not all bad. I'm liking the tactic. Things haven't completely... I was worried that the update would break the tactic entirely, but thankfully it's been relatively okay. If anything, I think it's made it more realistic. So we're not quite able to punch above our weight as much as we were, but we're actually able to be a bit more confident against slightly smaller sides. So, you know, it means that I'd be able to make tweaks that I would think would logically work, and they may actually work. But unfortunately, due to the situations and time constraints now, I may not have time to do that. Although I do have to build a tactic for Wimbledon, so that's going to be fun as well. I don't know where I'm going to find time to do that, really, because I don't want to just use plug-and-play tactics. That's just not my style. I like to build tactics that I can then perfect, in theory, and then put them up on the website for you guys, because... I know I was useless at that last time, but I'm just playing the I was ill card. Taylor across, great save on the rebound, and another great save from what I assume is Alex McCarthy. But also, this save will be going up onto my website once it's fully finished. It might not be immediately, but I will get it done, I promise you. In case any of you guys want to sort of continue the legacy that is Wales, of course. Because, yeah, that's something I'm going to try and do a lot more this year. Any saves I do, once I'm done with them, I will put them up on YouTube, not on YouTube, online, so you can download and have a play yourselves. Because I did do that with Portsmouth and Red Star, and it kind of just faded away after that. So I do apologise for that, but it will be coming back this year. The other thing is that I'm going to try and do some more of those. Well, I've only done one March to Safety video, but when I do that as well, I will also put the save when I started it, before I've actually completed it, up for you guys to try the same thing out yourselves, kind of like what I did with Liverpool, basically. I want to see, you know, a few people suggested that, and I think it's a good idea to do that, frankly. So I'm going to make a substitution here. As much as Ben Harries is booked, Ben Davies has been good, but he is also knackered as can be. And I think Ben Harries off and Jonathan Savage on at this point. I know that he's got very little fitness, but I just want to get him on and make him get his professional debut. Not his professional debut, his... Oh, God's sake, guys. There's 3 of them there, and they've somehow let that slip through, and it's a Ben Harries own goal. Just as he's about to be substituted, he's departed with a kiss. The kiss of an own goal. That looked really suspect. Disappointing, really. There's... Oh, sorry, my bad. There was actually 4 of them there. Oh, dear. It's like the Chuckle brothers were actually 4 of them, the quadruplet brothers of Chuckle, and they were all our defenders at that point. See how Johnny Savage does, though. I wonder if there's enough time for him to get good enough for me to actually consider taking him to the major tournament. I just don't know if there's going to be quite enough there. And if this saver continued, he would have been that midfield linchpin that we were missing. But I just don't know if there's enough time for him to get good enough. Wilson's strike is wide. I'd actually settle for a 1-1 draw here, even though they don't deserve it. I mean, look at the difference between us. We've been much, much better than them, but sometimes you just have to accept that it isn't always going to go your way. So let's get constant. Oh, no. As if we... Oh, also, the other thing I've noticed is that we've not been conceding quite as many fouls as we were before, basically. Before, we'd have games, like almost every game, we'd concede at least 15, 20 fouls, and that led to more red cards. I think they've toned it down a little bit. We're still conceding a few, but it's not as bad as it was. As you'll notice, we're not getting as many yellow cards either, so that's a bonus. I'm liking that. Other changes. Pogaletko is actually an absolutely brilliant player for this right wing, and I'm glad that he's declared for Wales, because that means we can now use him as a sort of backup to Harry Wilson. I've had to move Harry Wilson inside a few times as well, because Jake Taylor's picked up knocks at various times. A 1-1 draw is a really disappointing result when you look at how good we've been in comparison, and I would care if it wasn't for the fact that we've pretty much, as far as I can tell, qualified already. Although I would have liked 18 points, just to be sure. Oh, God's sake. That would have been disappointing, because they've hit the target once and they have scored it, and we've been the better side today, but it's not always going to be your day. Thankfully, we did the hard work before we got into this match. Winning in Ireland was the most important thing. That 2-0 win was huge. Johnny Williams' red card as well. That could have been massively bad for us on another day as well. That could have been the end, basically. Jonathan Savage has done okay today, but we've not really seen much of him, nor have we seen anything really of Philip Fowler. And that's the problem with Ian Dunphy. When I put someone like Tyler Roberts up top, he's getting in amongst the goals, but those two rarely seem to score a lot. Most of the time it's our midfielders that are getting the goals. But there we go. That should, in theory, be us qualified. Yes, we should be winning them, but we actually moved up 18 places in the world rankings as a result of the two previous wins. So, unfortunately, this will probably drop us down because we've drawn against Ireland and lost to Portugal. So we're just going to quickly see if the news item is showing us what I want it to show, and that is that we have qualified. Wales qualified for European Championship. There we go. Only the 4th time. Well, to be fair, 3 of those times have been under me, as far as I can tell, or is it even 4? So let's just quickly look at the European Championship. They haven't been drawn yet, and I don't know if we can actually see the qualification. Can we? Yes, we can. Right. I don't know if there was any other games on at this time anyway. So yeah, there we go. So England and Switzerland, Turkey and Serbia, Romania and Bulgaria, France and Sweden, Portugal and Wales, Holland, Norway, Finland, Italy, Denmark, Belgium, Greece, Germany and Austria, and I assume there's some other teams that will of course be joining us there as well. So guys, in the next episode we're going to be doing what I usually do in these situations, where we'll do some friendlies of course leading up to the tournament, then the first group game in the Euros, as well as of course seeing the draw. So stay tuned for that. It's going to get pretty tense. I want to see if we can get out the group again and maybe have a good crack at it, but I just have this horrible feeling that we're going to get another group with the likes of Holland and Italy in it, but you just never know. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. If you have liked this episode, then please do drop a like on it. That would be amazing. If we could get to 250, that would be even better, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel, particularly as we've got Wimbledon starting soon. In fact, it may have already started. I just don't know. My brain will decide later. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.